outside of Chicago in Elmhurst, Illinois. Over time, he's been involved with BJJ, also known as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Our guest today also secured mixed martial art victories with a record of 7-0. And he also learned how the mixed martial arts community could help him better discover more to life.
What is the difference between sports jiu-jitsu and MMA jiu-jitsu? And does jiu-jitsu work on the streets? Then you get people saying you can't roll without the gi on the street, so it's not realistic and stuff like that. So a few things with that is for the streets, it's important to know how to defend yourself, obviously, so jiu-jitsu is huge. Now, when you teach like lasso, spider guard, worm guard, like you gotta understand that stuff's for people that already know most of the basics, you know, of the streets versus what to use on the streets versus what not to use in the streets. Obviously, I wouldn't want to pull guard on a street scenario, even in MMA. I got a lot of my wins off my back, but at the same time, I didn't pull guard just because you want to be on top. Jiu-jitsu should be meant for getting out of bad positions and just controlling a situation, but at the same time, people that say jiu-jitsu doesn't work because people don't have a gi on in the streets is kind of weird, because people wear clothes usually in the streets and in self-defense situations. So the gi just makes you with a better understanding of the movements and fundamentals and how to use it. So there's a lot of ignorant statements out there of both, and there's always an argument of no gi versus gi, which I believe you have to do both. I came up doing no gi, and now I love gi a lot more, just because there's more stuff to do, and it's very complex. But as far as street scenarios, I'm not going to be pulling no worm guard and doing no lasso and stuff like that. So you got to just understand that it's called sports jiu-jitsu because it's a sport. MMA is mixed martial arts. Like it's a difference. Now you're combining styles. You know, and the same could be said for guard pullers versus wrestlers. Like, you know, you gotta do both. So yeah, everyone's gonna have, especially in the wintertime, people are gonna have jackets on, so it's gonna be important for grips and stuff like that. But at the same time, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know exactly what you're doing with mount, with getting out of a bad position that you could be on the streets, how to block a punch, you know, little stuff like that, how to defend like stuff that could happen on the streets. So again, just two different things: sports jiu-jitsu, and then there's MMA jiu-jitsu. Regardless, it's all jiu-jitsu, but you're gonna use them all at a different time. So I don't know, take the video how you want. I feel like there's something that needed to be addressed, because I always say, does jiu-jitsu work in the streets? Well, I mean, you see it always work in the streets too, all right? But you know, you can't be going out there swinging on people. I mean, just imagine if you knock somebody out, they hit their head, they die, something like that, just over an argument on the streets. Now, self-defense, that's one thing, but anytime I'm in a situation, I try to use jiu-jitsu to get out of there and be a bigger person, and just get out of a bad situation. So yeah, so don't be pulling the lasso guard on the streets. I always tell my students, if you do and you land some cool stuff, shout out the Academy on the news. But for real, but yeah, give it a whirl, give it an understanding of what the difference is between Jiu-Jitsu, MMA Jiu-Jitsu, sports Jiu-Jitsu, especially if you're a beginner, because you might be completely lost and have no idea what you're getting yourself into. So do your research on your school as well, and you know, self-defense first. That's how it always should be. YouTube, and we'll be back next week for some more videos. Oh.